Hello, my name is Arshan Baldwin, and I will be presenting a biographical perspective on Pat Summitt. I am a current Saginaw Valley State University educational leadership student, and I am pursuing my administrative certificate at Saginaw Valley State University. So just a little background about Pat. Pat Summitt was born Patricia Head in Clarksville, Tennessee on June 14th. She grew up on a dairy farm, and it's believed that this is where she developed her aggressiveness, her toughness, and it was simply her trademark. She was a player at the University of Tennessee at Martin, where she earned opportunities to play on various national teams. In 1974, she was also at this point named the head coach of the University of Tennessee volunteer women's basketball team. So a little bit about why I chose Pat Summitt. She is extremely remarkable. She is the winningest coach in NCAA history. Not just the winningest female, but the winningest coach out of male and female coaches for NCAA basketball. Her vision is Together We Win. She is extremely inclusive, and as you can notice on the screen, I included The Definite Dozen by Pat Summitt. I forgot to mention that Pat Summitt recently she passed within the past couple of years due to her battle with Alzheimer's. But this is Pat's Definite Dozen. It talks about respecting yourself, taking full responsibility for your actions, being a competitor, making winning an attitude, disciplining yourself so no one else has to. That's a point with integrity, being ethical, taking full responsibility, understanding change is a must. One thing we talked about in EDL 636 is how school leaders are change agents. So I think of Pat Summitt as a change agent. She came and changed the dynamics of NCAA basketball. A little bit about culture. She has an inclusive, collaborative culture. She has a culture of hard work, dedication, and respect. Pat Summitt is extremely respected in the world of NCAA basketball. She is respected by her peers. She is also respected by her players. A little bit about Pat's management style. She is a situational leader. She is also distributive in how she does leadership. She believes that teamwork is inclusive, and we're going to talk about that a little more on the next slide. She is transformational and transactional. Pat is an extremely excellent leader, and I model myself after her. As far as collaboration goes, we talked a little about being inclusive. Put the team before yourself. Teamwork doesn't come naturally. It must be taught. Teamwork allows common people to obtain uncommon results. Not everyone is born to lead. Role players are critical to group success, and in group success, there is individual success. So as a school leader, I must be distributive in how I deal with the staff that I work with. I must accept them in their differences and value what they bring to the table. So if the group's successful, as a school leader, I'm successful. It does me no good to micromanage things and not allow things to get done when I have qualified staff. Ethics. Pat believed that you should take responsibility for your actions, full responsibility. She said there are no shortcuts. You can't assume larger responsibility without taking responsibility for the small things. So everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to take responsibility for the big win, but it's the small things that you take responsibility for. It's the little things. And so Pat was all about that. And she was about hard work being your passion. You have to make hard work your passion. You have to be passionate about giving your all, having some integrity, taking the initiative. And I believe that that's very important. School leaders need to act in an ethical way. advocacy. So as I stated before, Pat Summitt died because of issues with Alzheimer's. Pat was very aware of the dynamics of her disease, and she stepped down from coaching. But one thing that she did in the process was she developed the Pat Summitt Clinic. It's a medical center at the University of Tennessee, and its focus is to she stated here, it's our hope that by creating this clinic at the University of Tennessee Medical Center, everyone will have access to resources that will help them as they walk through this difficult journey. Even in her death, Pat is making an impact on our nation. There's some groundbreaking research as it relates to Alzheimer's, and I believe that Pat had a lot to do with that. And so she's she impacts the community that she serves. And I believe that as a school leader, you should impact the community in which you serve. You should be an advocate for your students and their cause. So I'm going to conclude with my leadership philosophy. I believe that Pat has a lot to do with who I am as a leader. I've followed her. I've studied her. I watched her over the years, and she is just a dynamic woman. And so my leadership philosophy is this. Leadership is being in the position to provide direction toward a common goal using the diversity of gifts, skills, and talents that those around you possess, while cultivating in them to operate in excellence to achieve the shared mission and vision. Thank you for listening to my presentation.